Greetings, mighty companions, and welcome back to our first in-person Monday class for many, many moons, many months. The snow has finally melted, and so now I'm coming back down to the center for springtime. So, welcome you guys watching, and welcome you guys here in the Miracle Center. And I am going to start, we're going to do like the good old days when I used to do long opening meditations. You guys remember, any of you remember that? Those days when I would do opening meditations that were nice and long. Well, Spirit told me we're going to do that tonight. We're going to go back to that. So, I am going to... So why don't you close your eyes and take a breath. We're going to do our opening meditation. So just let go of your day. Let go of everything that's not happening right here, right now. Remind yourself that you are here right now. Tell yourself, this instant is the only time there is. Allow your breathing to become a little deeper. Feeling yourself resting into the present moment. Letting go of everything that's not happening now. Tuning your awareness to the frequency and the vibration of the present moment. Focusing our mind in the here and now. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Let every voice but God's be still in you now. God, today I want only to hear your voice. Today, God, I want to hear only your voice. In deepest silence, I would come to you, God, to hear your voice and to receive your word, God. And breathe. God, I only want to hear your voice right now, God. deepest silence, I come to you right now, God, to hear your voice and to receive your word. God, I have no prayer but this. I come to you to ask you, God, for the truth. I come to you to ask you for the truth, God, now. And truth is what you want from me, God. And I want the truth for me too, today. I want the truth that you want for me, God. And I want it today. I come to you to ask for the truth, God. In deepest silence. And breathe. We're coming to God today in deepest silence to ask the truth of God. Because we want the truth. God wants us to have the truth. So let go of your ego thoughts. Let them go. In this instant, I let go of my ego thoughts. I let go of my ego thoughts. And I come to you, God, in deepest silence to hear your voice and to receive your word. And when an ego thought occurs to you, step back and look at it. And then let it go. When an ego thought occurs to you, tell yourself, I don't want what this ego thought brings with it. This is how we practice keeping our mind in silence. Deep silence. So we can hear God's voice speaking to us, giving us the truth that sets us free. Let every voice but God's be still in me now. Take a breath. Take a big breath. Bring your awareness back into your body. Yummy. That's what Spirit said. You're going to get back to doing long meditations, opening meditations like you used to. And I was like, okay. All right, whatever you say. All right. So, let's see. Well, I don't see where my class is. Okay. All right. So, wonderful, Brew. Lovely to see you. And Demi. Hi, everybody. Okay, so where we're at today is chapter 17, section 3, and it's called Shadows of the Past? Okay, that's the blue book, Shadows of the Past. In the original edition, I'll be reading from the original edition, and the title is Shadow Figures. So shadows from the past, shadow figures. I thought I'd start with a cheery section for my first class back for after a while. Actually, I would not have chosen this for my first class back at all. Only Spirit would have. See, that's why I do random number generator. All right. So we're in, so lovely. So 17:3. Shadows of the past or shadow figures. To forgive is merely to remember only the loving thoughts that you gave in the past and those loving thoughts that were given you in the past. That's what it means to forgive. Can you imagine being in a state of mind where you've forgotten everything except the loving thoughts that you gave in the past and that were given you? That's what it means to forgive. What a wonderful state of mind. Doesn't that sound nice? That's all I remember. The love that was given me in the past and the love I gave them. That's all I remember. You imagine? That's all you remember? Right. Then it says, all the rest of the unloving thoughts must be forgotten. All the rest of the unloving thoughts that you gave and that you received in the past must be forgotten. So you can see forgiveness is a selective remembering. Forgiveness is a selective remembering based not on your selection. Because the shadow figures that you would make immortal, which means remember, they are enemies of reality. They are your enemies of your reality. Okay. The shadow figures, the painful memories that you would remember instead of the love They are your enemies, the enemies of your joyous reality. So, given that the enemies of your joyous reality is your painful memories, then you may want to be willing to forgive others for what they did not do. All right? The shadow figures, or the painful memories, your painful memories are the witnesses you bring with you from the past to demonstrate that they did what they did not. Your painful memories are the witnesses you bring with you from the past to demonstrate that they did to you what they did not, is what your painful memories do. Because you brought your painful memories from the past, you will hear your painful memories from the past. And you who kept your painful memories by your own selection do not understand how your painful memories, your grievances, came into your mind and what your grievances, your painful memories' purpose really is. Alrighty. Does anybody have any remaining painful memories in their mind? Does anybody? Anybody ever been in a relationship? Anybody been in a body on planet Earth? Do you know anybody who doesn't retain any painful memories? No. Me neither. Whoa. And this just said that our painful memories from the past that we bring with us, they are the enemies of our joyous life. They are the enemies of our abundance, our joy, our health, our loving life, our freedom to be ourselves. They are the enemies of your health, your wealth, your happiness, all the things you say you want. All those painful memories that we bring with us. That we could have just left them in the past where they happened. But no. We're going to drag those painful memories, those grievances from the past so that we can demonstrate that they did hurt us. It's a fact, Jack. They did. See this painful memory that I have? See the pain I have in this memory? See how painful it is? Well, that is a demonstration that they did hurt me. And I mean hurt me bad. I'm still in therapy. You know, that partner 5 relationships back, I'm still in therapy for them. Because of them. And I could absolutely experience total abundance and joy and freedom to be in a life that I absolutely love and radiant health. I could have that right now, except that if I wasn't dragging my painful memories with me and looking at them and like cataloging them, making sure I never forget them. Okay, that was paragraph 1. Anybody want to go on? No, me neither. I already don't like this section. It's only 1 paragraph. She's trying to get me to give up my painful memories. The nerve of her. Don't you know my painful memories keep me safe?
Who would I be without my stories?
Yeah, who would I be without my stories? My painful memories protect me from all those who would do me wrong. Again, I tell myself, right? That's my excuse. My painful memories protect me from being ever vulnerable again to somebody who wants to hurt me. And that's why I tell myself that I hold on to those painful memories. That's what I tell myself. The truth is that there's a different reason I hold on to those painful memories. And we're going to hear what that is. Okay. So, everybody still breathing? Mm-hmm. Is this okay to talk about? Are there any topics that are off limit? Okay. Now, apparently not with you guys. You guys are the hardcore. All right. So, so we're talking about, when it says shadow figures, I want you to think painful memories or grievances, okay? So shadow figures are those who hurt me in my perception, and now I have memories of the pain that this person caused me, and I am determined that I am going to prove that they hurt me. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to drag with me from the past the painful memory, and then I'm going to use it to prove that I was hurt. And then I'm going to now form a relationship that I can get my vengeance. You know, where I go, I'll show that person, you know, where now, because now you're going to get your wounded self-esteem resurrected. So you bring your painful memory from the past about how you were hurt, and then you bring it to all your current relationships, where you're going to proceed to show them from the past how wrong they were and how much they hurt you. And then it goes on to talk about, why would you want to do that to a perfectly good relationship? Why would you want to ruin a perfectly good relationship? By dragging your painful memories from your past into that relationship and make that relationship make up for that.
Is this the section where it gets into the reason is vengeance?
Yes.
We want to take vengeance.
Yes, on the past.
On the past, but do it through somebody that's in our life.
Exactly, but call it love. So we want to get vengeance on the past because we feel so hurt. You know, when you feel hurt, you're like, you know, I need to find someone to make up for this. This is unjust. You know, when you feel hurt, you can't help but want to get revenge, to hurt back. That's why when you feel hurt, you get mean. How do you act when you feel hurt? Freaking mean. You know, so wherever it is that you feel that someone really hurt you, which they did not do, like it said, you're forgiving them for what they did not do. What do I think they did? Hurt me. And so if you are carrying painful memories that prove how you were hurt, then you can't help but use every single one of your relationships to get revenge, to hurt somebody else. You know, you're always like, why do people who are abused as children go and abuse other children? Why is that? You would think that they would not want to do that because they know how it feels. But when you feel hurt, unless you take that painful memory and you take it to the truth, which tells you who you really are can't be hurt by another person, then all you can do with your pain, your painful memories, is get somebody to make up for that, to get vengeance for it. Isn't that deep? Now, does that explain a lot about our relationships in general or what? Right? But we call it love because the ego's got to tell you it's love to keep the cycle going. So the ego's like, that's what love is, you know. Love hurt you. And it's loving to try to now bring your hurt to others and make them make up for it. That's love. That's what love is what the ego tells you, because the ego wants you to keep doing it. That's how you keep the pain going and love nowhere around. Wow. Now do you see why A Course in Miracles is not more popular? Just to make sense. I read this shit and I'm like, no wonder. But you guys must really want to be free. You must really want to be free. Free enough, you must want it so bad that you're willing to hear what we do. And how it is that we've made ourselves so unhappy, so miserable, so angry, so hurt, so broke, so sick. This is how you do it. This is how we do it. All right. That was only paragraph 1. Okay, paragraph number 2. All right. Yes. Bridget says, so how do you get the person who is doing this to stop the behavior? How do you get the person who is doing what to stop the behavior?
Bringing their past into the...
Oh, is that right? How do you get someone to stop bringing their past into the present, their painful memories into the present, and misusing their relationships for the painful memories? Okay, I'm going to assume that would make sense, Greg. Okay. The way that you stop doing this and stop the cycle of madness, of torturous relationships, which the Course in Miracles calls a chain around our neck, literally. The chain of special relationships. That's what the Course in Miracles calls them. How do you stop doing that? It's in this lesson right here, right now. Because when you see what you're doing to your relationships, then now you're like, oh, ew, I don't want to do that. So awareness is the remedy. When you see that you're doing it, that's how you're able to go, oh, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore.
I think she's talking about how do you get somebody else to stop doing it.
That's what I thought, yeah. Bring up a past situation. Oh, you mean when other people are bringing their painful memories into the relationship and misusing you to get vengeance on their painful memories? Yeah. The way that you get somebody else to stop doing that is to stop doing it yourself for a few moments each day. You're right. So realizing that that's what you are doing. And learn how to do something different yourself. Okay, that's where it always starts, the answer. So, these painful memories, such a cheery topic. What'd you talk about? Oh, painful memories. These painful memories that you bring with you into the present moment, they represent the evil that you think was done to you. And you bring these painful memories with you for only one reason. What's that one reason you bring your painful memories with you from the past? Only that you may return evil for evil, hoping that their witness, the witness of your painful memories, will enable you to think guiltily of another and not harm yourself. So that's what they represent. Okay, this painful memory, it's a symbol, a representation of the hurt that was done to me. The evil, okay, not just hurt, but evil. This represents the evil that was done to me, and I have brought it with me from the past into the present and into this relationship, hoping that this painful memory of the hurt that was done to me will enable me to think guiltily of another, attack another, and not harm myself. I want to be able to attack and blame someone else. I want to be able to attack someone else, but not be a bad person who attacks. I don't want to be, it's like I want to attack, but I don't want to be a bad person, an evil person. I want to be able to attack in safety. Well, my painful memories enable me to think guiltily of another person who hurt me.
That's what I'm talking about, that guiltily. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like attack thought, anger. Think anger. So,
At the word guiltily.
yes, think the word anger when you hear guiltily. You think of anger or attack. I bring this painful memory with me from the past. And then the reason I do that is because I want to use the witness of this painful memory. Look at the hurt in me. Come on. That hurt, that painful memory will enable me to think angrily of another. Look how you hurt me. Attack them, you, blah, 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 and not hurt myself. This painful memory makes me believe that I can hate somebody because they hurt me, but not give hate to myself. That's what these painful memories and grievances enable me to do. Wow. To hate somebody, I want to be able to hate. My ego wants to be, I want to be able to hate. And who more righteous to hate than someone who hurt me? And so I have to keep the memory of how I was hurt in order to hate someone and not feel like a bad person. To feel like I'm not hurting myself by hating another. Isn't that creepy? The ego lives on hate. So the ego has to come up with a way to convince us to hate. Because that is the only way the ego can stay in business. That is the only way the ego can stay alive.
And it's based on the belief that I never even knew that I had until I started reading the course, that my thoughts can do exactly that without hurting myself. In other words, that my thoughts do leave my mind.
Right. That's right. That's right.
That's the underlying principle that the ego has tricked us into believing without even question, without question, that I can think whatever I want about somebody or some other situation, and it has zero effect on me.
And that is what our ego is trying to teach us. That you can attack another and it have absolutely no effect on you. In other words, the ego is trying to teach us that we're separate. You can attack that person. It's all right. It's totally justified because then you know they hurt you. Remember how they hurt you? You know how you still have that pain right there? You know, so, you know, you should hate them. So that's what the ego is always counseling us. To hate others because they hurt you. It's totally natural and normal to hate whoever hurt you. And you can hate whoever hurt you without having any effects of that hate on yourself. Wow. Okay. That's what the ego is counseling us all the time. So the ego is saying, remember how you were hurt? Remember how you were hurt? Remember what they did to you? Don't ever forget what they did to you. Carry that pain in you. Carry it everywhere you go. Carry that pain in you. Don't ever forget how they hurt you. And that's so, you're like, because that will keep you safe. And we're like, okay. Why? Only so that the ego can get its hate fix. The ego is a parasite that lives off of hate. Your ego lives off of your hate. But the ego knows also that you want love. So the ego's come up with the perfect disguise for hate. And the ego calls it love. So that you think that you're going for love, which you do want, but really it's just hate. Whew. And that's, and I was like, oh my God. Crazy. It's like, it's so crazy. But when you hear it, you know, you recognize that that's what we do. You know, when you hear the truth, you recognize it. You see that it's the obvious. All right. And don't forget this, as we're going through this, that the truth is that nobody can hurt you, which means, yes, they can hurt a body, okay, but you're not your body, and nothing anybody can do to you has the power to change who you are, your essence, your power, your worth, your innocence, your guiltlessness, your perfection. Nobody has the power to do anything that can change what you are and change who you are from being a complete and whole and perfect and loving and lovable creation of love. And so that's why the Course says you're forgiving them for what they did not do. They didn't change you. They didn't hurt who you really are. Who you really are has been unaffected completely. Who you are has not been touched at all by what they did with their bodies to your bodies. So remember that, that we're hating people because they did something that they could not do to us. We are hating. Ego is convincing us to hate people for what they did not do to us. Why? So that the ego can stay in business and get kept bloated on hate. It's when you realize that the ego is a parasite that lives off your hate, all of a sudden you're like, ew, I don't want to feed that parasite. I don't want to do that. I do not want to be ego food. I do not want the tick of the ego to be like living off of them, filling up with my hate. And the ego is so clever. It's like, oh, this isn't hate. This is love. And then it takes our relationships, joining in love that we want, and uses it for its purposes. Whoa. That's why I titled this class, How to Heal Relationship Cancer. Isn't that deep? I've never heard that phrase before. How to heal relationship cancer. I'm like, yeah, exactly. We are literally learning about relationship cancer that most relationships here have. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. All relationships have this cancer, which eats the relationship out from the inside. Okay? The ego is a relationship cancer that eats the relationship out from the inside. Lovely. Lovely imagery. Okay. So we're still in paragraph 2 in the original edition, sentence 3. Your painful memories that you carry from the past, they speak so clearly for the separation that no one not obsessed with keeping the ego could even hear these voices, these memories. I'll say it again, but I'm going to use a different word for separation. Your painful memories speak so clearly for the ego that no one not obsessed with keeping the ego could even hear these painful memories. If you weren't obsessed with keeping your ego, keeping the hate, then you would never even hear the painful memories. They wouldn't haunt you in the night. And your painful memories offer you the so-called reasons why you should enter into unhappy relationships to support the ego's goals of hatred and to make your relationship the witness to the ego's power. Whew. That's what your painful memories are doing. Did you know? Oh, I thought my painful memories were just, my painful memories and just hanging out there, talking smack. But your painful memories, they are convincing you why you should enter into unhappy relationships that support the ego's goal of hatred. What is it that all of our relationships start off so good, and then there's so much freaking hatred? Why is that? Because of this. That's how that happens. The ego has convinced us, our painful memories have convinced us that we should enter into unhappy relationships that support the ego's goal of hatred. So now we're in relationships and we're like, oh, this person, right? Okay, this is how it happens. And it is these painful memories that you bring from the past that prove that you were hurt. It's these painful memories which would make the ego holy in your sight. And it's your painful memories that would teach you that whatever you do to keep the painful memories safe is really love. That's what painful memories do. Painful memories are not just painful memories. They are accomplishing something. They are accomplishing something. You selected them. Every one of your painful memories you selected for a very specific purpose that you would use those painful memories for. And it's the ego's purpose. The ego needs you to keep your painful memories. Okay, your ego needs you to. Wow. Because it's only your painful memories that would make the hatred holy, love. And it's only your painful memories that would teach you that what you do to keep your painful memories safe is really love. Dang. All right, let's take a breath. Everybody okay? Everybody still breathing? All right. Now, is there anybody, is it obvious that this is what we do, or you're like, I don't see how I do that? Does it seem obvious that this is what we do in our relationships?
It is now.
It is now.
But I can remember going over this material in the past.
Yes, me
and
too.
Going, that doesn't sound like me.
I don't do that.
I don't do that.
I don't do that. Exactly.
And
That's right.
what I finally realized was that if I accept that what's being taught to me here is the truth, then all of those things that it's explaining to me and trying to put into my conscious has been buried in my unconscious.
Yes.
And it's only when I reflect back on how I've done these things, if I say, try to pull up memories of what's been done to me, it's only when I'm willing to look at, well, when have I done something like that it finally begins to dawn on my mind that, okay, he's calling me on my shit here.
Yep, exactly. That's one of the miracle tools. When you're remembering the pain and hurt that was done to you, like, we rarely remember the pain and hurt we did to others. Mostly we remember the pain, the hurt that was done to us, right? And rarely when we're remembering the pain that was done to us, do we go, where have I done that before? And you won't have to look very far, to go, oh, yes, I too have hurt others with my projections.
And I just wanted to add the other thing is that I'm not talking about physical harm here, actual battery.
Physical, right?
But the pain that I will experience from, say, a relationship breakup is really my interpretation of what's happening to me.
Yes, what they did.
Of what they did to me. I'm consciously or unconsciously, I'm choosing to feel abandoned,
Hurt,
misused,
yes.
or hurt,
Right.
whatever.
Exactly.
It's my choice.
Yeah.
In those moments, I think it's a case where the ego part of my mind wants me to forget all of that and believe that I'm a victim. And
Yes.
it feeds not only on my projection of anger and guilt, but it feeds on me feeling like a victim.
Yes, exactly. That's right. Thank you for saying that. Absolutely. So the painful memory that I'm carrying with me from the past, even though it's really heavy and stinky, the painful memory that I'm holding is, I forgot what I was going to say. All right. So,
Well,
yes.
I'm stuck in that part where I don't see me doing it yet.
Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you for saying, okay. The painful memory that I'm holding and carrying with me from the past, I'm not even remembering correctly. That's what I heard you saying, and thank you for that, remember. So it's not even an accurate memory, but because we don't question it, we don't step back from it and look at it, the painful memories we're carrying, we're assuming that we even remembered it correctly or saw it correctly in the moment. And how many times has it happened where something was happening to you in the present and it hurt like hell? I mean, you thought you didn't know if you'd survive it. And then a few years later, you look back at that memory and you go like, you saved me, God. You saved me, God. I was crying when you saved me from that. So what my ego is calling my painful memory is really oftentimes a memory of something happening in your own best interest. You not knowing your own best interest. I thought I was being abandoned and betrayed and, hurt and kicked to the curb, when really what was happening was I was being saved by God. God was like, we're plucking you out of this, girl, at your request, right? But I'm like, oh, my heart is broken. How could they do that to me after all I've done for them? Right? So very often when we're being saved by Spirit, whom we ask for its help, we are on the floor wanting to die in pain. We go kicking and screaming. And then we're carrying this pain, like, I carry the painful memory of the day I was freed from hell. Oh, that memory, it hurts so. Right? I'm literally suffering from the memory of the pain of the day that I was saved from hell. Oh my goodness. All right. It's a good thing that the truth is that we cannot be hurt. That's what we're learning here. The truth is that you can't be hurt. And so any painful memory of how you were hurt is an illusion. It's a memory of something that did not happen. You are literally remembering something that did not happen. And you're remembering it in such a way. And the reason that you're keeping this memory with you, even though it never happened, is because your ego is always looking for an excuse to hate, and to hate safely, because that's what keeps the ego in business. Ouch. Okay, so shall we go on with this cheery topic? All right, I love it. Look, Bridget says the mirroring principle. Thank you, Bridget. All right, now, paragraph 3. The painful memories that you bring with you, your painful memories always speak for vengeance. And all of your relationships into which your painful memories enter are totally insane. Are you saying all my relationships are insane? Yes. Well, you're right. Okay, and so don't feel alone, okay? Any of your relationships in which your painful memories from the past have entered, that relationship is totally insane. That's what your painful memories do to every one of your relationships. Wow. What a waste of a perfectly good relationship. Here's this perfectly good relationship the universe brought me, and then I'm gonna bring my painful memories into it, and then I'm gonna use that relationship to get vengeance on the ones who hurt me in the past, who didn't really hurt me. They're really my saviors, but that truth doesn't fit into the purpose of the ego, in the ego for holding grievances. All right, and says, without exception, these relationships have as their purpose the exclusion of the truth about the other and of yourself. And that is why in this relationship where you brought your painful memories into, this is why you see in both of you what is not there, and you make of both of you the slaves of vengeance. And we've all experienced that, being in a relationship where we just had a lot of anger. Okay? In a relationship where your painful memories enter, you both have a lot of anger, and you become slaves of hate. Okie dokie. But don't worry, it's broken into by a few moments where you have a good time with each other. So all is not lost. There are those weekends, that happen. They're a lot of fun. So it's worth it. Okay. And this is why whatever reminds you of your past grievances, your past hurts, no matter how distorted the associations by which you arrive at the remembrance may be, they attract you and seem to go by the name of love. Why is it that the very things that I hate the most, I am also attracted to? Why is it that the one I come to hate the most, I am attracted to? Wow, whatever reminds me of who hurt me. Do you remind me? You remind me of who hurt me. I'm attracted to those who remind me of those who hurt me. You know that makes me totally insane. But at least I'm not alone. I'm here with all my friends who are also totally insane. So don't feel guilty about being totally insane now. And don't hate other people for being totally insane. Don't hate them for being totally insane. You're totally insane. But you're not alone. And there's nothing you can't learn. Your learning ability is unlimited. There's nothing you cannot learn. So don't be sad or mad or angry or scared that you're totally insane and everybody you're in a relationship with is too. Don't be mad or sad or scared about that, because you can learn how to release your relationships from your painful memories. You can learn how to not let your ego use your relationship just to keep it alive, like a parasite. You can learn how to not let your relationships be used up by the parasite of hate called the ego. You can say, hell no, ego, to what it wants to do to your relationships. And you can say, hell no, ego, to those painful memories that you think, oh, I'm just the mercy of my painful memories. No, you're not. You can learn how to go, no, thank you. You're not even real. That's not even the way it happened, ego, painful memory. That's not even the way it happened. So no. Okay, you can learn how to step back and look at those painful memories and realize they are not an accident. They serve a purpose and not one in your best interest. You can learn that so that you're not carrying around painful memories everywhere you go. And then every relationship you get in, you dump your painful memories right in their lap and go, there you go, right? You can learn how to not do that. Isn't that good news? I want to learn how to do that. I want to learn how to have relationships that are not just hymns of hate, hymns to hate, that always started off really hot or really fun.
We just love to hang on to the hungry ghost.
Yes, exactly. Okay, but you see, why is it that I'm attracted to what I hate? It's the age-old questions in relationships, right? Why is it that I'm attracted to, drama and conflict? Why is it I'm attracted to what I hate? Why is it I'm attracted to someone I'm always angry with? Why? Isn't that the age-old question in relationships? Why? Why am I? Okay. This is why. Because to the ego, a relationship whose purpose is to keep the hate going, that relationship serves the ego's purposes, and that's why the ego calls it love. That's why the ego convinces you this is love. Whew! Whereas to the ego itself, it whispers, it's really death. And we're like, do-do-do-do-do. And it's also, finally, why all such relationships that painful memories have entered into become the attempt at union through the body. Because why? Because only bodies can be seen as means for vengeance. So every relationship into which painful memories enter, yours and theirs, is going to be a relationship that is going to be a relationship where we're trying to join through the body. Okay, our bodies be together and do this together. Why? Because so these relationships where painful memories have entered into are relationships that become just about the bodies, just about what the bodies do, what the bodies have. Make sure that your body doesn't do such and such with other bodies. Okay, now you have a relationship that's just about the body. It's just about the body. It's not about the mind. It's not about joining minds. It's not about ideas, and it's not about ideas. It's not about spirit. It's about what is the body doing? What is our body going to be doing together? What's our body going to be doing together? It's all about the body now. Have you ever been in a relationship where it was all about the body? Anybody?
Yes.
Oh, okay. One honest person.
In retrospect, yes.
Yes, exactly. And what in our relationships, what are we always upset about?
Didn't get what I wanted.
Something about the body. Something about the body, exactly. All right, so when painful memories from the past enter into the relationship becomes all about the body. Why? Because you can only get revenge on a body. You can only get vengeance for what happened to you through a body. You can only get vengeance through a body. In other words, you can only get somebody in a body to make up for what somebody in a body did to you in the past. See, the way you were hurt in the past was their body hurt you. And so if you're going to make up for that and get revenge, then, that has to happen through a body. So now we're all upset about what the body's doing or not doing. Wow. All right. Okay, let's take a breath. Any questions or comments on the first 3 paragraphs? Are y'all ever going to come back to my class? You will? Thank you. Thank you. Listen, this is a very heavy-duty topic.
It is.
It's very tempting to become very depressed when you hear about this. And so don't forget to laugh. You're actually hearing the answer to all of this. You're hearing the answer. You're hearing how to have relationships that are not just, making you hate each other. The way the ego wants us to do relationships makes us hate each other. And so we're learning how to have relationships that are not based on the body, that they're not based on rectifying painful memories, so that you can have a relationship that's totally new every day. It's free. Yeah.
So, it's easy for me to get lost in this part the discussion that we're having right now in just the negative side of the ego's motives.
Yes.
But let's remind ourselves that this section begins with remembering only the loving.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for
this
bringing us back to that.
This hypothetical new relationship that I'm having loving feelings about doesn't mean that those loving feelings aren't real. And what's being reflected back to me is not real.
Yes.
It's that we can't hold our attention on that because the ego's got these
ulterior motives.
Ulterior motives, and worms its way in there and begins corrupting
this beautiful, perfectly good relationship.
Can be at the beginning perfectly innocent and loving.
Yes, gift from the universe.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So thank you for that, because so when it gets heavy, remember that the first sentence, that to forgive is to remember only the loving thoughts that were given you in the past and only the loving thoughts you gave in the past. Now that's the alternative. So, it says we're learning how to have a different kind of relationship. Well, that's how you do it. You make the decision, you set the goal to remember only the loving thoughts that you were given and that you gave from the past. And you're like, oh, I can do that? What do you mean? I can remember only loving thoughts that was given me and that I gave? You said, yes, that is what we're learning to do. It's called forgiveness. It's a whole nother new interpretation of forgiveness. So that we are not carrying our painful memories with us like this toxic baggage that is toxic in every relationship it comes into. We've all heard that concept that the baggage you bring from the past, is baggage now on the relationship. Our baggage, which means our painful memories, is that we are bringing forward, is our baggage. That is corrupting our relationships that were given to us by the universe, by God, to learn together, to learn love, to learn to love. Yes, thank you for reminding us, helping us to come back to that. That's what we're learning to do. And once you hear what your grievances and your painful memories really are, once you hear what they are, like the anatomy of them, you're like, ew, I don't want that. Yuck. And my ego is using those painful memories to feed off of me? Oh, no, I don't want those painful memories. And this is reminding us painful memories are selective. She's saying we select our painful memories. That's what it said. It's the painful memories that we select. Wow. So when you remember that about and you apply that to your painful memories, your grievances, it's easy to go, I'm just going to focus on the love that I gave and that they gave and that, there was a lot of love there. And that's what we always say, about our relationships at the beginning. It was full of love, right? It was so loving at the beginning of our relationships. So there was love there to remember. How they hurt you is not the only thing that happened in your relationships. But when you feel hurt, it's like that's the only thing that ever happened, right? When you feel hurt, what do you say? You're like, I don't remember any good. All of a sudden, you don't remember any good when you feel hurt, right? All of a sudden you're incapable of remembering all the love that they did give you and that you did give them. All of a sudden you have amnesia for the good. You know how it is when like relationships, hurt comes up and then it's like, well, you never loved me. You always hated me. No, you're not remembering correctly. We wouldn't have stayed together so long if it had been only hate, right? Selective remembering. Grievances, painful memories are selective remembering. Selected by the ego, who wants you to stay angry and in hell and alone forever. That's what the ego wants for us. To the ego, that's heaven. All right. Okay. So, paragraph 4. That bodies are central to all unhappy relationships is evident. Your own experience has taught you this. But what you do not realize are all the reasons that go to make the relationship unhappy. What are the reasons that make my relationship unhappy? Because unhappiness seeks to reinforce itself. Or let's say the ego seeks to reinforce itself by gathering to itself what it perceives as like itself, just like happiness does. Unhappiness seeks to reinforce itself by gathering to itself more unhappiness. And so does happiness seek to reinforce itself by gathering to itself more happiness. In the unhappy relationship, it is not the body of the other person with which the union is attempted. In the unhappy relationship, it is the bodies of those who are not there at all that you are attempting to have union with. Okay, what does that make us? Totally insane. In this relationship, I am not seeking to have union with you, the one I say I want to have union with. I'm seeking to have union with the bodies of the people who aren't even here in our relationship. Woo! In the what relationship? In the unhappy relationship. This is what's going on. This is the reason for an unhappy relationship. I'm trying to have a relationship not with this person who's right here for me right now, but I'm having a relationship with the person who hurt me, the body of the one who hurt me from the past, that you remind me of. I'm not in the relationship for you, my beloved, for who you are, present moment right here with me. I'm with you to get vengeance on the bodies of those who are not here, who hurt me from the past. And you are the delivery device for that. Isn't this the most unromantic shit you ever heard? Mm-hmm. I'm going to this is why relationships are unhappy. We're using each other, not to appreciate the person who is here right now as who they are, but we're using this person to get vengeance on who hurt us in the past. Wow. And what do we say to each other? You are not going to do me like so-and-so did me. I will never allow anybody to do that to me again. Isn't that what we say? I will never allow you to do to me what they did to me, even though that's why I was attracted to you. We don't say that. And what does that make us? Everybody? Not just insane, but totally insane. In other words, we're always relating to those who are not there. We're not even relating to the people who we're with. Okay? We're not like, oh, you're so amazing. We're not relating to people who are there. We're like, listen, you better not do to me what they did to me, okay? All right, that's what our relationship's going to be based on. Okay. Wow. Isn't that deep, what we do? Okay. Whenever, in the past, whenever I was heartbroken over a relationship that ended, and I was full of hurt and anger and grievances and, just so much emotional drama, I would go read this. And it would always make me feel so good that relationship broke up. I would go from like pain on the ground, suffering, crying, and then I'd read this and go, oh shit, thank God. I was like, ooh, okay, I see, okay, all right, it's okay. You know, I see what I was doing and that we were doing together, and all right, now I feel a little bit better about, all right. Now, then it says, even the body of the other person, already a severely limited perception of them, is not the central focus as the body is, or in entirety. What does that mean? That means whatever can be used, whatever body parts can be used for fantasies of vengeance for who hurt you in the past, and whatever body parts can be most readily associated with those folks on whom your vengeance is really sought, those body parts are centered on and separated off as being the only body parts of value. Wow. So not only am I not relating to the person in front of me for who they really are right now, I'm relating to them as if they are the body of someone who's not there. And then we further fraction the person who's with us, and now only certain body parts of that person we're focusing on because they remind us of the ways we were hurt from the past. Isn't that deep?
Twisted.
It's twisted, but this is what people who are totally insane do. You know, this is what people who are totally insane do. We're all totally insane. We don't need to fight against that or feel guilty about that. And everybody that we're in a relationship with, especially if that relationship is not happy all the time, then they are totally insane too. And we're all innocent. We're all innocent. Even though we're totally insane and this is how we're using our relationships, we're also totally and completely innocent and deserve only love. That's the truth. All right. So then it says, all right. So that was paragraph 4. All right. Okay. Questions or comments? Everybody still breathing? You're like, sort of. Thanks for reminding me. Is this hard to hear? Yes, says the yawning woman.
Yes.
This is hard to hear. Okay. What else? What else is it like to hear this?
Well, as I was saying earlier, I can see it where it's done to me. I don't see it yet where I did it to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what on earth? I feel so projected on. I can think of a couple past in friendship, worker relationships where it's like, what? You know?
So you perceive, it's easy for you to see how others have hurt you,
Just
projected onto you their painful memories and used you for their painful memories.
Yeah.
But it's harder to see how you do that in your relationships. Thank you for sharing that. And we're all the same.
Yeah, you're not special.
We're all the same. We're all the same.
Well, I would like to be able to see it, identify it. So
Right.
I go, oh.
Yes, exactly. And that's what we're learning. We're learning how to not bring our painful memories into the present relationship and project on our present relationship. We're learning how not to use the people we're in relationship with to make up for or to protect ourselves from the ways we were hurt in the past. We're learning how to do that. And the first part is just hearing what you do. That's a huge part. Just to hear, oh my God, just to hear it is a massive, major step toward being able to do something different in your relationships.
Because 99.999% of the population doesn't read this, doesn't hear this.
Yes, exactly. So you're already way ahead, Carol, of most human beings. For real, right? Just like what Matt was saying. You already know more than than most human beings on earth about relationships and about yourself.
But I don't want to have this, who was it that said, somebody made a comment, so you get in a relationship with somebody and they're doing it to you though.
They're doing what to you?
This whole thing, projecting onto you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've read it, I know it, I'm trying not to do it, not bring my baggage into it. If 99.999% of the population hasn't read this, then they're going to be doing it to us. I don't want it to be done to me.
Right. Well, and the only way to stop somebody from bringing their painful memories into the relationship and projecting them onto you and using you for that is for you to stop doing it yourself. Until you stop doing that, you will be attracted to people who do it to you. Okay?
And the beginning part of that is to only remember the loving thoughts
Yes.
that you gave and you received.
When you are tempted to have a grievance, when you are aware of a painful memory, is to tell yourself, I choose to remember only the love that was given me by this person and that I gave them. I choose, I decide, I select. And that's the practice. And then maybe you could sit down and go, yeah, remember how they helped me out that time when I really needed some help? And remember that time when they were kind to me when I was feeling afraid? Oh, yeah. Oh, remember the times that I helped them out and was loving to them when they needed it? Okay. It's a conscious selection. It's a conscious choice. Okay. And that is what really protects us the most. Not holding the pain and staying guarded, around the pain. That is not what keeps you safe from more pain. Remembering only the love protects you the most from the pain happening again.
This is kind of talking about patterns.
Yes.
And I must admit, I have a tendency, I left my parents at a very young age, and I have a tendency to withdraw. So I'll have to think about that some more.
Gotcha, right on. That's the best thing that you could do. Just think about it some more. That's good. That's awareness. That's what we're developing. An ability to think about things in a new and different way, a more loving way, a way that doesn't produce more hate, but with the people that we love, the people that God has given to us.
And notice that this is not saying, and it will never say, that you're expected to remain in an unhealthy,
That's right.
toxic relationship or situation.
That's exactly right. You can't emphasize that enough.
The loving thing then is to take care of oneself and remove oneself from that situation, and then do this practice.
Exactly. When the Course tells us you do it for yourself first, right? You give what you want to receive first. It never is implying that you should stay in a situation where you're being abused physically or emotionally or psychologically in any way. So it's like go away from somebody who's attacking you, and then choose to remember only the love and that you gave and received. Okay? When you remember the love, you will remember that you deserve only love. And when you remember you deserve only love, you won't be attracted to people who attack you. When you remember that you deserve only love, you won't be attracted to people who are attacking you. It all comes back to us. Darn it. All right, I'll just do one more paragraph and then that will be it. So paragraph 5 will be the last paragraph we do. And then we will do the integration meditation. All right, paragraph 5. Every step taken in the making, the maintaining, and finally the breaking off of the unhappy relationship is a move toward further fragmentation, which means unreality. Anything you're doing toward the making, the breaking, the making, the maintaining, and the breaking off of the unhappy relationship is a further move toward fragmentation of reality. Why? Because the painful memories enter more and more into the relationship, and the person in whom the painful memories seem to be in decreases in importance. Wow. So the longer the relationship goes on in the unhappy relationship, the other person seems to represent the painful memories more and more and more, and who the person really is decreases in importance in the unhappy relationship. Time is indeed unkind to the unhappy relationship. Why? Because time is cruel in the ego's hands. Just like time is kind when time is used for gentleness. The attraction of the unhappy relationship begins to fade and to be questioned almost at once. That's right. Because once the unhappy relationship is formed, once it is formed, immediately after it's formed, doubt must enter into that unhappy relationship. Why? Because that unhappy relationship's purpose is impossible. So the moment the special relationship, the moment the unhappy relationship is made, immediately doubt enters. Because the whole purpose of that relationship is impossible. Which is like, you're going to make up for who hurt me in the past. That's the purpose of every unhappy relationship. You're going to make up for me, for what they did to me in the past. So the purpose of that relationship, from the moment it begins, the moment that it is formed, that relationship becomes questioned almost at once. Doubt enters immediately because the whole purpose of that relationship is impossible. The only such relationships which retain the fantasies which center on them are the ones which have been dreamed of but have not been made at all. I don't think you have that line in yours. You do? Okay. Okay. Oh, good. Yeah. So I'm going to say that sentence again because this sentence was edited out. The only such relationships which retain the fantasies which center on the painful memories are the relationships which have been dreamed of but have not been made at all. In other words, the only relationships in which we keep our fantasies are those relationships that are never actually formed. Wow. So in other words, as long as you are bringing your painful memories into the relationship, what you're bringing into the relationship is your fantasies. Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody where they were relating to their fantasy when it came to you? They weren't really relating to you. They're relating to their fantasy about what has happened to them. Wow, it's like you don't even know me. The way you're relating to me is like you're relating to your mother who hurt you in the past. So now you're not even relating to me. You know, here I am, I'm present, I'm loving, I'm devoted, but you're relating to me as if I'm the person who hurt you in the past, which I am not. Haven't we all said that at some point? Haven't we all felt that way? Like, dude, you are projecting onto me, you know, that I am the one who hurt you in the past. And you're defending against me like that. And I'm doing the same to you. And that's what happens in the unhappy relationship. Because remember what happens in the unhappy relationship. In the unhappy relationship, we're not just remembering the love that we gave each other and received from each other, right? That's not what all we're remembering and thinking about in the happy relationship. In the unhappy relationship. And so, as we're thinking about the pain, the hurt that was done to us in our relationships, then we are truly not relating with the person who's there. We're just relating with our fantasies. And what comes in more and more? Pain, more hurt, more pain, because we're not even relating to each other. We're relating to somebody who's not even there, who hurt us in the past. And so more and more pain enters the relationship.
But this sounds like that sentence is saying, but that those relationships where our fantasies don't even happen.
Right, because you're not having you don't have a real relationship because you're not really relating to them. And they're not relating to you. They're relating to their past that hurt them, and you're relating to your past that hurt you in your perception. So that means that you're not really having a real relationship. And that's what the Course in Miracles says, that the unhappy, the special relationship is a state of isolation that seems to be like union. It's like, seems like we're in union, but we're really in two separate worlds. Okay? We've all experienced that too. That means you're not really in relationship, you're in isolation, but your bodies are in vicinity. Here we are in total separation, two different worlds, but our bodies are sitting next to each other on the couch. That's not a real relationship. That's a state of isolation that seems to be what it is not. Wow. All right. Yes.
Can I, if you're complete with that,
I am.
I want to suggest that you skip ahead and read the paragraph that hopefully begins in yours. It is still up to you to choose to join.
Oh, yes.
Because that kind of brings it back full circle.
Okay, beautiful. All right. Here we go.
What
Does
paragraph is that?
Well, it's 9 in the blue book. I don't know where it is in the...
It's 12 in the original edition.
Okay.
Okay. So we've heard the problem, right? We've heard what goes in, all the reasons that our relationship is unhappy. Okay, great. Now you're going to hear the answer. Thank you, Matt. It is still up to you to choose to be willing to join with truth, the truth of that person, or illusion. But remember that to choose one is to let the other go. Which one you choose, you will endow with beauty and reality, because the choice depends on which choice you value more. The spark of beauty or the veil of ugliness. The real world or the world of guilt and fear. The world of truth or illusion. Freedom or slavery. It is all the same. Because you can never choose except between God and the ego. Thought systems are but true or false. And all the attributes of the thought systems come simply from what the thought system is. Only the thoughts of love, only the thoughts of God are true. The only true thoughts in this situation, this relationship, are the thoughts of love, which are the thoughts of God. And this follows, it says, only the thoughts of God are true, and all that follows from the thoughts of love come from what the loving thoughts are. And what comes from the loving thoughts is as true as the loving source from which those loving thoughts come. All right. And so, in the next part is where your higher self speaks to you and says, my loving brother, I would enter into all your relationships and step between you and your fantasies. You will? Really?
Please.
How much would that cost? I'll do it for free, Anna. For free?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. You say you want to you want to enter all my relationships and step between me and my painful memories, fantasies? You do? Okay. All right. Yes. Great. And then our teacher says, so let my relationship to you be real to you, says our teacher. Let my relationship to you be real, and let me bring reality to your perception of each other. You two were not created to enable you to hurt yourself through each other. Your brothers and sisters, your relationships were not created to enable you to hurt yourself through them. That's not what your relationships were created for. Your relationships were created to create with you. Your relationships were created to love with you. And this is the truth that I would interpose between you and your goal of madness. So don't be separate from me, says our teacher. Be in relationship with me. Our teacher says, be in relationship with me. Be in relationship with me, says our teacher. Be in relationship with me. How about that? How about seek a date with me, your teacher, says our teacher. Don't be separate from me, which means don't let the loving purpose of healing be lost to you in your dreams of vengeance in your relationships. Relationships in which such dreams of vengeance, relationships in which anger and pain are cherished, have excluded me, says our teacher. Say it again. Relationships in which such dreams of anger and vengeance for the past are cherished, those relationships have excluded me. So let me, your teacher, enter your relationship in the name of love and bring you peace in your relationship, that you may offer peace to me. I'm so glad that we've got to that part. That was a really important part. You know, what our teacher is offering us relative to our relationships. Okay, our teacher's like, you know, I know you're having a great time in your relationships and all. I know you're doing great, you know, but but if you'd like, I could enter into your relationship. As crazy as it is sometimes, I would enter into it if you would like me to. And I can show you, I can bring peace into your relationships for you by showing you how to use your relationships to create love with you, to create love together. Instead of all the power struggle, fighting, power struggle, you know. Our teacher's saying, I could step into your relationship. I could enter it, step between you and your fantasies of how they're doing you wrong like everybody in the past and all your anger, and I could teach you how to create lovingly together. Or not. That's what's being offered to us. So who's down for that? Does anybody have any relationships that they would like to enter their teacher into? All right.
Absolutely.
I have a few. But not as many as I used to. So I'm grateful for that. All right. Beautiful. So let's take a few minutes. Let's do, after class, I'll just leave the love offering basket right here. So just do that after class. And let's do our integration meditation. I'm doing on time. Okay. All right. It's going to feel so good to just breathe in silence after all that, huh? Let's just breathe in silence. Take a breath. And I want you to ask yourself, what is it that I just heard? What is it that I just heard that I want to remember? Beautiful. Now, I want you to bring into your awareness a relationship that has that feels unhappy to you right now. I want you to ask yourself, what are the painful memories from my past that I have brought into this relationship, that I have used this relationship to get vengeance on? What painful memories have I brought into this relationship with this person that I've been trying to get this person to make up for? And what are the results? Did that bring you joy? Did that help you to appreciate this person? I want you to recognize, if you can, the anger that they have expressed or unhappiness that they are experiencing in the relationship is their painful memories that they brought with them, that they projected onto you. And I want you to realize that who they were projecting on, who they were unhappy with or angry at, was a fantasy from their own past. I want you to tell yourself, this person wasn't even relating to me. And so they didn't really hurt me. They never saw me. It wasn't me they were relating to. It wasn't me they were angry with. It was a fantasy from their painful past that they were seeing in me. They didn't see me. And how could they hurt someone they didn't even see? I want you to tell yourself, I wasn't hurt in the past. And I want you to tell yourself, and this person has not hurt me. They have not touched me. They didn't even see me. So it's nothing personal, literally. And now I want you to ask your higher self, your loving right mind, the teacher of truth in your mind, I want you to ask it to enter into this relationship. Spirit of truth, enter into this relationship and step between me and my fantasies of this person. Step between me and my fantasies of my past pain, my painful memories, fantasies. Please enter this relationship. I invite you into this relationship. Please step between me and my fantasies in this relationship. And teach us both how to learn to love together as equals in your love. Teach us. Show us how. Teach us how to see each other as the other is in the present moment, as God created them, as God created me. Help me to see this person not as I have projected my past pain onto them. Help me to see them as they are, as they were created by God and still remain. Help me. And thank you. And now, how do they look to you now? In your mind's eye? Beautiful. And now, when you're ready, take a deep breath. Whew. Bringing your awareness to where your body, wherever it is. All right, you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for watching on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you guys for coming out in person to the Rocky Mountain Miracle Center. I really appreciate you doing that when I know you could watch it online. Thank you for bringing your bodies here, you know. So we can't have a physical class if nobody shows up in their body. And I'm very happy to do my classes online, you know what I mean? So truly, you know, but you know. All right. So thank you. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you next time I see you.